Forget the Instagram posts of laptops by the beach. Most advice on the best places for remote work in Europe is going to be dreamy, but you're here for the real deal. The visa rules, the actual cost of living, and whether the internet will die during your biggest meeting in the quarter. In this video, I'm giving you a breakdown of the top European cities for remote workers so that you can make a smart, sustainable move. Hi, I'm Danielle Paisalas, founder of Expat Livin. I help people like you turn their dream of moving abroad into a reality. Whether you're thinking about a move today or in the future, I want to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, Expat Livin, for more information about life abroad. And speaking of dreams, let's start with the dream of working remotely from Europe, because for some, the reality can be a minefield of confusing visa applications, surprise costs, and Wi-Fi that's, well, questionable. It's way too easy to get sold on a vibe only to find out the practicalities make it impossible to stay long term. So today I'm going to ignore the hype and focus on what really makes a city work for a sustainable remote work life. We will look at the top 5 places in Europe that are popular for remote workers. And for each city, we'll break down the 4 pillars of successful moves, such as visas, internet and infrastructure, reliability, and finally the community and co-working scene. So first up is Lisbon. It's become the poster child for the European remote work movement, and for good reason. The community here is massive and established, but all that popularity has led to some serious growing pains. The visa situation. Portugal's digital nomad visa is one of the most popular routes. To qualify, you need to prove a monthly income of about 3,500 euros per month. And this is based on a formula of 4 times the national minimum wage. So expect that number to tick up annually. The visa gives you the right to live and work in the country and travel freely across the Schengen area. And the process is pretty straightforward, but brace yourself for bureaucracy and potential long waits because of high demand. The real cost of living. And this is where Instagram versus reality does hit hard. While once a bargain, Lisbon's popularity has caused rents to explode. A 1-bedroom apartment in the central neighborhood could cost you anywhere between 1,200 to 1,800 euros per month, and that's if you get lucky. Daily expenses are still really reasonable. A coffee is just a couple of euros, and a meal at a local spot won't break your bank, but your budget will be dominated by housing, so don't come expecting the budget paradise it was a few years ago. For a more affordable taste of Portugal, many are now checking out Porto, where rents are still noticeably lower. Internet and infrastructure, well, Portugal has poured money into its digital infrastructure, so you can expect reliable, high-speed fiber optic internet in most residential areas, which is a non-negotiable for remote workers. The city is also well connected with a decent public transport system, and the airport offers great flights across Europe and beyond. Community and co-working, well, this is still where Lisbon wears the crown. The city is overflowing with co-working spaces from big chains to small indie hubs. Day passes are available almost anywhere for around 20 to 35 euros, and you can get your very own desk in some co-working spaces for anywhere between 150 to 350 dollars per month, or euros per month. But the real magic here is the sheer number of remote workers, which means that there are endless meetups, networking events, and social gatherings. So if finding a tribe is your #1 priority, Lisbon is still one of the best places in the world to do it. The final verdict, Lisbon is perfect for remote workers who value community above all else and are willing to pay a premium for it. It's an amazing launch pad for first-time nomads who want to plug into a ready-made network, but just be ready for a budget that's more in line with other major Western European cities. Next, we're heading to Spain, a country that was a little late to the digital nomad visa party, but is now making up for lost time. While everyone talks about Barcelona, it's more relaxed and affordable. Sibling Valencia is quietly stealing the show. Spain's digital nomad visa has been a total game changer. The income requirement is set at 200% of the Spanish minimum wage, which currently works out to be about a monthly income of 2760 euros per month. This figure is tied to the minimum wage, so it can change. The visa lets you live in Spain and can be renewed for up to 5 years. It is also something that gives you the option to apply for a favorable tax regime, which can be a huge perk, but it's not automatic and has its own set of rules. The real cost of living. This is Valencia's superpower. It offers a quality of life that feels like Barcelona, but at a fraction of the cost. A single person can live comfortably on a budget of around 1,800 to 2,000 euros per month. Rent for a one bedroom is in a good neighborhood can be around 850 euros per month, but in popular central areas, expect to pay a little bit more. Groceries, dining out, and public transport are all way more affordable than in Spain's bigger cities, so letting you enjoy that Mediterranean lifestyle without the constant financial stress. Internet and infrastructure. Well, Valencia is a modern city with fantastic infrastructure. High-speed fiber internet is common and affordable, and it has plans often costing around 32 euros per month. The city is incredibly bike-friendly, has a clean and efficient metro, and the Turia Park is a dried-out riverbed turned into a massive green space running through the city. It is an urban oasis. Community and co-working. The remote work scene here is growing fast. It's not as huge as Lisbon's, but it's energetic and welcoming. You'll find plenty of co-working spaces, especially in cool neighborhoods. The community is a fun mix of long-term expats and new digital nomads, which makes it a really dynamic social scene. So the final verdict here, Valencia is for the remote worker looking for an amazing quality of life on a sensible budget. It's also for people who want the sun, the sea, and culture of a major Spanish city without the chaos and the cost of Madrid and Barcelona. So if a balanced, affordable lifestyle is what you're after, Valencia should be at the very top of your list. Now let's head north to a city that's been living in the future for years, Tallinn, Estonia. This Baltic capital has built its reputation on being one of the most digitally advanced societies in the world, making it uniquely practical as a base for remote workers. The visa situation. Well, Estonia was a true pioneer with the digital nomad visa and its famous e-residency program. It's crucial not to mix them up. The digital nomad visa lets you live and work remotely in Estonia for up to a year, but you must work for a foreign company or your own foreign registered business. The income requirement is steep, so you're going to need to prove a monthly income of at least 4,500 euros per month. But on the other hand, the e-residency is a digital identity that lets you start and run an EU-based company completely online, even if you don't live there. So for tech entrepreneurs, it's a revolutionary tool. The real cost of living. Well, Tallinn offers a great mix of Nordic efficiency and relative affordability. It's not as cheap as some other Eastern European hubs, but it's way more budget-friendly than its Scandinavian neighbors. However, costs are rising, so a more realistic budget for a comfortable life for a single person is now closer to 1,700 to 3,000 euros per month, as rent for a modern one-bedroom can be significant. The city is compact and walkable, which helps keep the transport costs low. And internet and infrastructure, well, this is where Tallinn is in a league of its own. Estonia considers internet access a human right. The country is blanketed in high-speed Wi-Fi, and the broadband speeds are excellent. The entire country runs on a seamless digital platform, meaning that almost everything is done online in just minutes. Community and co-working. Tallinn's tech and startup scene is absolutely booming. This has created a strong community of entrepreneurs, developers, and remote professionals. So you'll find a solid selection of slick, modern co-working spaces. The community here is less about the nomad lifestyle and more focused on innovation, startups, and business. The final verdict here is that Tallinn is the ultimate home base for the tech-focused remote worker or online entrepreneur. So if your top priorities are efficiency, world-class digital infrastructure, and a streamlined business environment, then Tallinn is unmatched. All right, we're 3 cities in, and you can already see how different each one is. So if you're finding this approach useful, do me the favor, please, and hit that like button. And if you want more practical guides for remote workers, make sure that you subscribe and check us out at expatlivin.com. Your support is going to help me create more content just like this. All right, now let's get back to the list. Our next stop is Budapest, the pearl of the Danube. This city has long been a magnet for budget-conscious travelers, and now with its own visa, it's cementing its status as a top-tier spot for remote workers who want incredible value. Hungary offers a digital nomad visa, officially known as the White Card. To be eligible for this visa, you must be a non-EU citizen. You must prove a monthly income of at least 3,000 euros per month and no employment or ownership of a company in Hungary. The permit is granted for 1 year and can be renewed for 1 more. One key detail here is that this visa doesn't allow for family unification, so each family member has to apply and qualify for their own visa. The real cost of living. This is Budapest's superpower, but be realistic. While the city offers a lifestyle that feels more expensive than it is, inflation has hit here too. A budget of 1,500 to 1,800 euros per month will get you a comfortable, budget-conscious lifestyle, but finding a spacious central apartment in that range is getting tough. Food, public transportation, and entertainment are still very cheap, so your money definitely goes further here than in almost any other major European city. Internet and infrastructure. Well, Budapest boasts some of the fastest and most reliable internet speeds in Europe. It's common to find gigabyte speed connections even in residential buildings, often for a very, very low price. The city's public transportation is also world-class, with a huge network of trams, buses, and a historic metro that makes getting around effortless. The remote work and expat community in Budapest is large, active, and diverse. There's a massive selection of co-working spaces for every style and budget, from trendy social hubs to quiet, focused environments. Because this city is so affordable, it attracts a global crowd of freelancers, entrepreneurs, and remote employees. The final verdict here is that Budapest is the ideal choice for budget-minded remote workers who don't want to compromise on living in a grand historic city. Our final city is Prague, a fairy tale place that has grown into a modern dynamic hub for remote workers. It blends breathtaking beauty with a practical business-friendly vibe right in the heart of Europe. The Czech Republic has a digital nomad program aimed at attracting skilled professionals. It's currently geared towards IT and tech professionals from specific countries. So those include the USA, UK, Canada, and Australia, and that list is expanding. You will need to prove that you have sufficient funds to live there, and your income must consistently meet the minimum monthly thresholds, and that's about $3,000 per month. The real cost of living here, well, Prague hits a sweet spot between cost and quality of life. It's more affordable than most Western European capitals, but prices have been creeping up. A comfortable monthly budget for a single person would land in the 1,800 to 2,000 euros per month range. Rent is the biggest chunk of that, but it's still manageable. Outside of housing, costs are very reasonable, especially for food, world-famous beer, and the city's incredible public transportation. The Czech Republic has a very fast and reliable internet. In Prague, you can expect high-speed broadband connections that easily handle anything you throw at it. The city's infrastructure is top-notch. It is one of the most efficient public transportation systems in Europe. And its central location does make it perfect as a launch pad for exploring the rest of the continent. Prague has a massive and deeply rooted expat community that has seamlessly merged with a growing scene of digital nomads. The final verdict here is that Prague is for the remote worker who wants a bit of everything. Jaw-dropping history, a vibrant social life, a central location, and a reasonable cost of living. It's particularly great for tech professionals who can use the streamlined visa program. It's a city that effortlessly mixes charm with a forward-thinking international mindset. So there you have it, my friends, a data-driven look at the best cities for remote workers in Europe. As you can see, the best place is all about your personal priorities. If you crave a massive, ready-made community and you don't mind a higher price tag, then maybe Lisbon is your move. If you're chasing a balanced lifestyle with sun, sea, and affordability, Valencia is a clear winner. For tech entrepreneurs who put digital efficiency above all, Tallinn may be the best fit for you. Or if your main goal is to stretch your budget as far as it can go in a stunning city, Budapest offers unmatched value. And if you want that perfect blend of history, a central location, and a professional vibe, then Prague is an incredible all-rounder. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this. The key is to know what you need, whether it's financial, social, or professional, and use this data to help you make the right decision that's right for you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help others who are thinking about the digital nomad life. At Expat Livin, our goal here is to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Thank you so much for watching, and happy travels.